Okay, it's been a busy day and a little bit of ETS2 to finish things off. Oh, I've got to go and pick up a trailer then. Maybe I have. Let's go and do that then. That's not a gate, is it? Oh, it is. That's the gate. There we go. Don't know who I'm indicating to. Oh, I suddenly feel a little bit peckish. Weird that the cars can come through the barriers and that you can see them and stuff. It's odd to me that. This is the sound of the police. Okay. So, got to be left up here somewhere, hasn't it? Where that is that? Ooh. I think he's... oh. He was slowing down to let me go. Now he's slowed down to let me go. Please don't put your foot down. You know what? It behaves really well. Lots of these games, I think there's one of them that it's put me into such a defensive mode when it comes to the NPCs. I haven't played many of them. I think it might be Tourist Bus Simulator. I mean, that's pretty dire when it comes to like traffic bottlenecks. Oh, and then there's this weird glitch where you can like leave the bus and run out and grab somebody else's car and drive it off. Now, I don't know if that's a glitch that they left in, if that's been deliberate. I mean, I assume it's weird when you drive the cars because you've got no like first-person view or anything like that. It does feel like a glitch. You know what I mean? You can't control them properly or anything. You just have to like sort of drive them out of the traffic. But no, there's something. I'm sure it was like old school ETS2 used to try and let you go, and then when you went, that's when they'd ram you. Looks like it's going to be starting to get dark soon. What time are we on? 6 PM. Oh no, 6 AM. I think. PM or 8 AM? Wait. Why is it telling me I've got 4,300 miles to drive? Don't tell me I'm going to go and pick up a trailer. What's happened here? What has happened here? Right. Okay. That's better. How far I got? 37 miles. Is it really that distance across Europe? Seems like a lot, doesn't it? How many miles the Atlantic is? I have no real... I seem to like grasp distances and then lose my grasp of them. I don't know how to explain that. Like, you could tell me, like, well, Brian Cox told me via the TV set the distance between galaxies, and I said I just can't put it in my head now. It's gone. Like, that's it. Like the distance to the sun I could be out by a factor of quite a bit. I mean, being out by a factor of 10's quite a lot, isn't it? There's a huge difference between like 36 million miles and 360 million miles. I mean, there's a factor of 10 difference, obviously. But I could be out by factors of 1,000. Right, I'm guessing the distance to the sun to be... I mean, I use that example because I'm guessing that. I'm guessing it's 360 million miles. Okay? Seems a lot, though. But I'm guessing that. Right. Here we go, here we go. How far is the sun in miles? Oh, okay, alright. I don't feel too bad about that, actually. I mean, it's 150 million kilometres. Right, I'm glad I went for millions and not thousands, hundreds of thousands. I mean, that'd be ridiculous, but millions. Alright, so... yeah, okay, alright. There's not many people going to know interstellar, you know what I mean, scalar trivia, you know what I mean? But, even just around places, like, sort of, I know what's 30 miles away, I know what's 100 miles away, 200, yeah, 300, yeah. Because I suppose I used to drive those distances, so I've sort of got it in my head. But, like, alright, circumference of the Earth, because you could sort of work back from there. Oh my god, that's crazy, isn't it? If the... he's waiting for me to pull over. If, ooh, it's all happening. Why is he braking there? And again. Quite a bit harsh braking, isn't it? I think they're all insurance grifters. I wonder if I should... oh, I need to grab 40 winks before I pick up this trailer. I'm actually going to just check the map. Because there might just not be any beds around here. Yeah, see? Oh no, there is. Okay, so I'll just continue. Run it a gush. Continue it. Oh no, I'll pick up the trailer first because that might not be available as a job. I don't pick it up. I have a limited amount of hours. Which doesn't make sense really. If you've got 10,000 oranges to ship somewhere, you don't just put a fixed contract and then if nobody bids you go, right, that's it, it's expired. You know what I mean? Then you're stuck with 10,000 oranges. Make orange juice, I suppose. Packet full of preservatives. Oh, wait. I did say I was gonna... oh, don't come up my arse. You git. Said the actress to... no, I'm not even going to go there with that bloody comment. I think... well, I did go there, didn't I? But... right, I apprehended myself. Right. No, he is yawning though, isn't he? Bloody hell. Alright, we'll get this bed. I'll tell you what, I'll be fucking irritated if I lose that job, because it looked... from what I remember vaguely of last time, it looked bloody brilliant job. Is this a yawn? I think. No. What about this? Is this an anti-yawn parking space? Go on. Please, please, please. There we go. There we go. Getting some rest. So it's 7 AM. And it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Okie doke. I don't do mirrors anymore. What's fuel like? Fuel's alright, so... take a left. That's a wee truck, isn't it? Okay. Onward. That's not the wee truck, is it? That's a different truck. Yeah, so circumference of the Earth, I'm guessing... I hate to do this to myself. Wait, isn't there a 80,000... Let's go for 86,000 miles. God, that seems a lot though, doesn't it? 86,000 miles. If it's 4,000 miles across Europe, got to be 86,000. Alexa, what's the circumference of the Earth in miles? 24,000. I had an instinct it was a bit more like that, to be fair, but I don't know. So maybe something's a bit off with this. Titles, like I know it's not to scale, but I thought, I thought some, oh I don't know. I thought it's still like X amount of miles between Calais and England or something. I don't know. Well, like I said, I just don't have a clue about this. This is a neat little... Do they do flat pack furniture here? They've got to, haven't they? Whoa. Was it a bonded warehouse? What the hell is this all about? Get in. Have a look. Have a snoop. Snoop. Okay. I think this isn't where I'm grabbing a trailer from, is it? No, nothing. Oh, bollocks. Can't turn yet. Can't see anything in my mirrors. We alright? We look alright. We look to be alright. Oh no, there is a trailer here. What's quite annoying is it's probably going to be the trailer that I do pick up when I go and get the green job symbol. Oh! Oh, God. I think mine... Oh no! My Mercedes isn't pristine. There's like 3% damage on it from careless driving. Dangerous driving probably, I don't know. Quite know what the difference is. I know obviously dangerous driving is a hell of a lot more severe than deemed. Let's pull in. But I used to hate going to places like that. Like that is just... Well, it makes me feel sick thinking about like just all these industrial places that I've been to over the years, worked for or clients and things like that. So unpleasant. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm just not keen on industrial units and industrial estates. In fact, I'm really not keen. Okay, so there's one there. Oh, that's the one. That's the one. Going all the way down through Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and then Poland. And the only reason I know it's going through those countries is because it says so on the screen. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a fucking clue, if I'm honest. No. Like like... Oh, head towards the green flag. I'm alright with France-ish, Germany, but it doesn't, still, I don't know, I couldn't draw a border on a map, that's for sure. Like I could tell you, I could point a finger at it and go, that's Germany. I couldn't actually draw it. I think I couldn't, oh my god, I could vaguely draw the British Isles, but it'd be crazy basic, like, you know what I mean? I'd vaguely get Cornwall and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, man, it'd be basic. But no real issue in pointing out England, Scotland, Wales, and then various counties. Maybe not counties in Scotland, Wales, in England. Okay, let's hook that bad boy up, take it out of reverse, and let us commence a 800 mile 22-hour journey. Oh my god. is a long gun. This is going to be a long gun. I should have checked that trailer length actually. I'm not. Seems to be alright. Well, that is going over a bit though, isn't it? God bloody hell, how long is this thing? Okay, cool. Wait, where's that taking me? Sometimes the sat nav, very rarely. Like that's rarely. This game is a beautiful game, but for like all intents and purposes, it's virtually perfect. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, you know, it depends what people want. You know, there's sometimes I actually like sort of a low polygon graphics count. You know, and this again isn't a criticism of the game. It is what it is. I'm not thinking about age or anything like that. I'm just... It's good enough for the polygons, but sometimes it's not just that it's like a game's good enough. It's like it's still reminding you. It's like you can't forget that it's a game, and that's a good thing. Like, you know, it's a... I don't know how to explain it. I want to play a game. I don't... you know what I mean? A simulation can't be the actual thing. Simulation has to be a cut down version of the actual thing. And I sort of value that it is a game, and it's just a simulated version of reality. I don't know how to explain it. I don't like when a game, like say Starfield, is all about the graphics, limited content, and it's trying to draw you into like a different, I don't know, trying to draw you into like almost thinking that it's reality because it's so, you know what I mean? I don't know. Well, Starfield's pretty bad. I don't know what I'm trying to explain. It's sort of a roundabout tip of my tongue. I definitely, in horror games, I definitely find the low polygon horror games far more scary than the detailed graphic games. Like, definitely. I couldn't name the titles I'm referring to. I was just looking at them because there's another couple in sale. But on Xbox, I think one's called The Circus and The Circus 2, and then by the same developer. There's another one, there's like Arctic 88, which really wasn't actually that bad. And then something else, and I think horror is all about your imagination. I don't know how to explain it, but the most horrifying thing can only be... Ooh, Christ, that was a bit fast. In your mind, because if it's more horrifying than your mind can comprehend, you won't be aware of it. It won't be horrifying, if you know what I mean. You've got to comprehend the horror, and then your mind builds upon that. I don't, yeah, because psychological horror is far more horrifying. You still, you know what I mean. You can still have nightmares of it. Oh, wow, that beautiful. Oh, and that side as well, and the little islands. Oh my god. I just can't steer straight, so that's the limited view there. Wow. Yeah, just your own imagination is just so much more powerful. So if you can have something trigger that, it's like reading a book and not having the image of the character prescribed to you on screen, isn't it? It's leaving, it's just tantalising, and I think low polygon games are like that really. They're unpretentious and tantalising. I don't know how I've come to that conclusion. Let's leave it there. But you know, my example was Starfield, which is, by all intents and purposes, a bad game. Um, but what happens when you combine strong immersion and a decent gameplay with good graphics, and you've got the best of all worlds? So no compromises to be had. I'm not interested, if I'm honest. Like, I've got the latest games, graphic-wise. You know, that Cyberpunk one, 2077 or whatever. Games like that. And I'm just not fussed. Something about those titles put me off. Puts me off. I like the simplicity. Oh my god, I'm an old fart, aren't I? Because that's what old farts do. Old farts like old games, don't they? You know, and that's fair enough. Like, I'm not. You can't. You know what I mean? You can't criticise somebody's likes or dislikes. I'm fine with that. Like, you know, the crap retro games on the whole. I mean, I've been exploring an Atari 2600. I mean, I'm just eternally disappointed with that damn thing. I'm really hoping. You let me out there. Thank you very much. I'm really hoping that there's something in that Atari that will take my interest. Oh my god. Oh fuck, I'm all over the pavement and everything. Jesus Christ, I took out a tree. It's a long old trailer. Let's have a look at the length of this. Not that long though, is it? Like, within European regs, so why is it... I don't think it was like a special load thing, so... Oh, I'd like to do that again at some point. Now, that's confused me, because is that green or is it red? Or is that a go if it's clear type green and red? Is that? I'm guessing that's... Is that a Mondeo? The trouble is, I think that... Well, I say the trouble is, I think they've kept up with car model years. Because that's the facelifted Mondeo, which... When did that come? Oh, maybe that was about... Oh, I don't know, yeah. 2013, 2014. I think mine was a 65 plate, but was it a facelifted? Oh, I can't remember. That was like 10 years ago, man. But oh, maybe it wasn't. Maybe the facelifted one came out after mine. Fucking Mondeo. I was all excited. It's the best car I've ever had. Like, hands down. It's the best car I've ever had. Now that could be because, well, it wasn't a huge step up. I went from a Vectra to a Mondeo, but quite an old Vectra. Oh my god, did I love that Vectra. I got such a deal on it. It was like 14,000 miles on the clock, but it was like 7 years old. And it was like maintained by a lady that lived in a vicarage. Maybe they're called vicars. I don't know. I think she was the wife of the vicar, and I had to go and pick it up from the vicarage. And it was beautiful vicarage. Although, what was odd? Oh, I'm heading to this bloody thing. What was odd was it was like inhabited by some marketing agency, half of it, or I don't know. And I had to pick it up from the guy at the marketing agency. So yeah, it was an absolute bargain. It was like fucking, I don't know, maybe 1,600 quid or something like that. Had 14,000 miles on the clock. It had like full service history every year. It was ridiculous, honestly. It was like 2,000 miles a year she'd done in this thing, yet still had it fully serviced without fail. Everything done to the book. She even had like a fucking timing belt changed or something because the book said it was like 50,000 miles or 5 years, whichever comes first. I mean, I suppose you've got to have it changed at some point, but I would have. I know they corrode. I know they age can get them, but I'd had a look at. I would have waited to like at that rate, 30,000 miles or something, another 7 years. I don't know. Anyway, this thing was in immaculate condition. It was beautiful. It looked sleek. I mean, you know, Vectras haven't been that bad at the end of the day. I think the thing is with Vectras, I might be saying this because I may be keeping a new Insignia, not a new Insignia, new to me, but a used Insignia. So I might be defending the Vectra subconsciously because I'm justifying the Insignia. But no, I think some of it's badge snobbery, if I'm honest. Like, when the Insignia like hit the market in, oh fuck, 2012, was it 20? No, it was like earlier than that. It must be like 2008 for the first gen. Like, a decently spec'd up Insignia then equated to like a very basic low spec M3, if you like, and I think the Insignia was better. Depends on your thing, but I think really people getting the M3s are just like badge snobbery, really, or whatever. You know what I mean? There's a few other models, and I think the trouble is with the Vauxhall and the Mondeo and the you see, Nissan's a bit funny, really. I mean, the Primera and back in the old days, the Almera were just fucking ugly, basic. Actually, the Primera wasn't that ugly, but you know what I mean? They were basic vehicles. Yeah, it's strange actually because, like Kia, I wouldn't have thought of being a quality brand really, and now the badge is a lot more acceptable. Fiat, I don't think that. I mean, you see a lot of Fiats around, but that doesn't mean the badge is acceptable. If it wasn't for the 500 and the Bar 500, I don't know. I don't know about Fiat. I mean, there's been some good Fiats over the years. I knew someone who had a Fiat Coupe, an old one, like a 95 plate, and it was a thing of beauty. Massive engine displacement. Right, let's hope there's no options, and there is option. So, I think I was heading just into Estonia. Oh, I could just do that way. That'd be no fun, is it? But yeah, like the top three badges, Merc, which I'm driving here, out of the truck world now. So Merc, BMW, and Audi as the top three sort of top of the budget road production vehicle. You know what I mean? Like sort of, yeah. I suppose I don't know how to describe the mid tier. I don't know in reality. There's no way they can compare with the likes of Aston Martin, etc. So, got to really be regarded as mid tier, haven't they? Nice view, isn't it? Statistically less likely to stop at a red light. The old Merc, Audi, BMW drivers. Oh, sugar. Wait. My sat nav's saying that I've passed the exit. Okay. So where is it? Because I don't want to come back round and queue. I don't want to queue you anymore. I think this has got to be the exit. I think the sat nav's incorrect. Have a look. So yeah, I mean, I think Vauxhall and Ford are great brands. I really do. I think they've got, and I think the main thing is, and this is where a bit more of like a mature view on car ownership, because I ain't in the stage of life where I'm buying cars to be razzing around the place. That's just a money drain, generally unsafe. You know what I mean? And it just not good. Like, So in terms of like cost of ownership and comfort and all of those things, do you think Vauxhalls and Fords are great badges? I really do. I think Astras and Corsas and all of these things have been good staples. Um, Focus, the Mondeo. Now, all of these cars have been off my radar for a long time now. I bought a car with 4 years ago, another Vauxhall, and I've just stuck with it, not thought about cars for the last 4 years. So I don't know if the Mondeo is in production. I don't think it is. Don't think it was called the Mondeo in the States either. I can't remember. There is a name for it, obviously. Yeah, I think a lot of it's badge snobbery. And when you actually think about parts availability, cheapness, aftermarket parts as well, that's a good thing, because if it's easy to manufacture aftermarket parts, that can keep the manufacturer's pricing in check. Because honestly, manufacturers just charge whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? Especially on the captive parts and things. So, like, it's weird to me that, because if you were a small business, like, I go back to the same old businesses again and again, right? Well, alright, so, and when I say businesses, I'm talking about small businesses. Oh, please let me go through. Sole traders. I doubt many of the people I buy from at markets and Car Beats and Limited. But there's certain people I've clocked. There's a guy who sells Blu-rays and DVDs and video games. And, like, we've had lots of chats, but... Oh, yeah. His pricing's good on everything. I know it is good. I go back to him. He knows it's good. I know it's good. Don't waste him time. Asking for a discount. It's all good. And there's another chap, Derek, that I see for other bits and bobs, odds and sods. I never know what Derek's got in, to be fair. But, like, I can't see. I've got a right blind spot. The mirror's the actual cause of the blind spot there. And they're reliant on this reputation of having decent pricing. They don't make a bob, make a living, but they have a reputation of decent pricing. But somehow, like, automotive manufacturers seem to just get away with absolutely ripping people off. Now, I don't know how. I don't know how they don't... You know, and they'll make up shit, oh, well. But for a start, I've known several times new vehicles coming onto the market from various manufacturers, and some are worse than others. Oh, is my trailer alright? Yeah. But various manufacturers, they haven't even got, like, parts supply to back up the new vehicles coming on the market. Like, how do they not sort that out? So people are waiting 6 months. People are having accidents. You know what I mean? Cat C fucking damage and whatever. And there's no parts knocking around. It's weird. Like, how manufacturers are so apathetic at times like that to the customer base. Shifting metal. And then those parts have been an absolute premium price. And then certain things happen, like they have a pool of parts nationwide, and then a dealer goes, you know what, fuck it, we'll buy all of those. And then they sell them at a premium to the other dealer. They add 20% on, and they do all sorts of stuff. So it all just pushes up the prices. Manufacturers would just shaft you on parts. Look at, and I wasn't going to mention any names, right? But I'm going to stray away from car manufacturers and HGVs for this example. Oh God, he's coming down fast. One of the worst manufacturers for shafting people is John Deere, right, and their tractors. It is absolutely despicable what they do to farmers. Like, it's crazy. I mean, if you're unsure, just Google John Deere shafting farmers, you know what I mean? The concept of right to repair is just nowhere in, like, John Deere's vocabulary, because they just deliberately make all their stuff Yeah, like problematic. You know what I mean? It cost a fortune to get engineers out and use the match. You know, oh, it's just crazy. Which is the last thing the agricultural industry needs right now. That is a industry that's, or it's hyper competitive. It's always on the brink of, and the crazy thing is, like prices have gone up recently for a lot of food around the world. But you only need like a few natural disasters to really cause huge problems in the food supply chain. And by natural disasters, you know, disease, in drought, these things are happening. These things are happening. I think the most sensible thing the government could do to counteract food like vulnerability, I think there's a term for that, food insecurity, right, in the future. The most sensible thing, if the government was really looking after its people, it would encourage people through education, subsidies, and community organisations to grow food at home. That's what it would do. If the government really cared about the health of its citizens and, you know, really thought, I mean, because it's climate change is going to fuck us, right? It's been fucking us in various countries, all sorts of issues like Mongolia where migratory patterns have changed. You know what I mean? Climate change is going to stuff us. We're going to have masses of food insecurity. We're going to really start to need to breed insects and insect farms on scale to get the protein required in our diet. Carbohydrates, thankfully various species of potatoes are quite tough and quite resistant. The worst species of potatoes is one that they make fries out of for McDonald's. McDonald's pretty much only uses one specific type of potato that is an absolute nightmare to cultivate. So yeah, it's quite strange that. But most you know, potatoes are quite a hardy thing. But yeah, basically, the government needs to encourage people to grow food at home. This is what pretty much this should be made. You know, like the good life. This should be normalised. Growing food at home should be absolutely normalised. Because of the need to have this knowledge, preserve this. Right, there's several reasons, right? Yes, food insecurity. Economically, it makes sense. Environmentally, it makes sense because there's less transport. But then there's something... Oh, you motherfucker, let me out. There's something... two things, really. Quite, like, more on the philosophical end of things, really. And that's... by enabling people, you loosen the stranglehold that the food industry wants to have. What was that famous quote? Like, is it Kissinger? I mean, it was something like, you know, control fuel and you control nations, control food and you control people. And the food industry is increasingly having a stranglehold. There's increasingly fewer and fewer manufacturers, you know, that are buying up more and more other companies, just absorbing. So, and these food companies are absolute giants. In fact, part of my business degree was to study the food industry in Brazil, and look at Brazil foods, and they are massive. And it's just sickening the amount of weight they have, because at the end of the day, in business, all negotiation depends on basically a threat of action. I know that sounds a bit strange, but it's like, lower your price, please, because the subtext is, if you don't, take my business elsewhere. And when you are that massive, you just absolutely overpower everybody. It's like the size of Brazil Foods and huge conglomerate giants like that make me think, yeah, thank God, like, we intervene. Do you know what I mean? Thank God the US does. And the US does intervene with, you know, monopolies. The EU certainly does. And it's absolutely needed. Otherwise, we'd all be stuffed. We you know what I mean? We'd all be in, like, absolute debt to the food industry if we weren't careful. So there's that idea of sort of shifting the power back to the people. It isn't a bad thing, is it? Anything that empowers people has got to be the right thing to do, hasn't it? When is there a case of, like... I'm just thinking about sleep, actually. And fuel. And both are okay, so I don't know why I pulled over. But being as I have pulled over, slamming on my brakes, etc., I will refuel. Is it just help yourself from this tanker? $200 litres. What am I, like 60 litres in my tank? 200 litres is just phenomenal. So, let me just check my lights. Yeah, shifting the balance of power. And that's how the balance of power has, throughout the 200,000 years of, like, more modern human civilization, if you like, been towards people, because you know, subsistence farming. You know what I mean? We sort of adopted that agrarian lifestyle and settled down and farmed by ourselves and in communities and small holdings and blah blah blah. And that's the way it's been throughout most of human history, up until the point a few switched on people, callous, albeit callous. You know, the thing is, I think this has emerged like this. I don't think somebody went, you know what, and this is how it feels, because it's got so out of hand. People can see the effects of it without necessarily knowing the detail of how it's got out of hand and the detail of food distribution. People could just see the price rises getting phenomenal in supermarkets, yet Tesco's made the biggest profits they've ever made last year. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, that's why the prices are going up. It's just funding shareholders. There's nothing to do with the pandemic, post-pandemic fallout, or blah blah blah. You're just paying shareholders more and more because shareholders want more and more. Otherwise, they fucking go somewhere else. So that's why. Ooh. So people can see the effects anyway of this. But yeah, I suppose the next point really on why it's important to grow your own food, etc., is more generalised, related to the other points. And it's just better to be independent, isn't it? This is where I envy Americans. Because, like, built into, like, local state legislation, for some states, like Texas, Texans are very proud that they can, many Texans, I should say, are very proud that, you know, they can just up and leave the states according to the, I don't know what it's called in Texas, but, you know, like the statute or something. But Americans have that much more independent mindset. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a whole lot of interdependence or dependence or whatever you want to call it in America. You know what I mean? Like the average New Yorker wouldn't know how to grow their own fruit and veg and things like that. Do you know what I mean? But there are enough groups of people throughout America, maybe more Central America. You know what I mean? Maybe more inland. I don't know. That do know how to do this and pride themselves on this knowledge. And I'm not just talking about like the extreme communities of Amish, but, and I say extreme, they're not extremists, like, but it's an extremely different way of life. But there are just average, you know, Americans with no particular, you know, they don't particularly identify with an ethnic minority or you know, a specific ideology. Just average Americans that sort of retain independence when it comes to food and hunting, and maybe they're just the ranch owners now, though. I don't know, but I think it's important to be able to retain independence, and I think that applies to humans because the strength of the species as a whole, as is arguably, you know, Darwin made this argument, is about variation, really. Darwin's argument was the strength of a species. Oh, I never noticed that over there. Was largely determined, almost wholly determined in the long run, by its ability to adapt to a changing environment, you know, changing predation, disease, whatever, adaptability. Okay, and the key to adaptability is variation. I mean, this is fundamentally why racists are a bit moronic, isn't it? Because, like, what, you want this white Aryan race where... Isn't it strange though? Because that's quite acceptable to talk about racists and the idea that a lot of them want a white Aryan race. How many, like, black racists are there where they just want this... What's the term? Just like this black race? I don't know. I don't know if ebony is an acceptable term, and I don't know why. Is ebony just a term because it sounds like less harsh than black? Do you know what I mean? Is it a way of, like, not quite saying black, but indicating black? You know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, having a single sort of race, human species, it's going to wipe out the human species, isn't it? Pretty much. You know what I mean? Because all it takes is one fungus to adapt. We're all fucked. It's genetic variation that's absolutely key to the progress of a species. So whilst we find ourselves in biological form, I think it's important to be independent and also to some degree non-conforming then. You know what I mean? So we're shifting the conversation now to non-conformity, and eventually we'll get onto anarchy, and I'll bring you in on the anarchistic cult, Retro Jimmy, where we just drive on both sides of the road like that. You know, that's proper anarchy for you. Madness. There's a completely misunderstanding about anarchy, isn't there really? Anarchy is a broad term, actually. There's a negative connotation with anarchy, as if like anarchy necessarily involves violence. But I've heard some pretty good philosophical arguments as to why anarchy perhaps presents the antidote to violence. And I don't know if I'm inclined to agree. You see, here's the difficulty. You always get a nut job. I don't know what the clinical or PC term is, but you'll always get a nut job, and it's laws that restrain them, isn't it, really? You see, it's like an inevitability, isn't it? Like anarchy isn't lawlessness for a start. That's not necessarily a definition of anarchy as well. Um, 'Cause people think it's no rules, and to some degree it is no rules, but it's a different emphasis on the locus of power and control, if you like. There's something up in the distance there. Is it street lights? Which country are we in? We're in Lithuania. 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 It's weird, I'm convinced you can... There was a number, I invented a number the other day. I don't know, this is how bored I get. I invented a number that was really an amalgamation of other numbers. Because I just like jokes and prattling about all the time. I love it. Because life is absurd. And comically absurd. It doesn't mean I don't get a serious face on or potentially get offended by jokes at me. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I love the absurdity of life, and I like to add to the absurdity of life. Anyway, there's a guy I know at the market, and we do have that bit of surrealist banter. And I'd invented a number to offer him an amount. I was thinking, well, next time I grab something off him, although he's been upping his prices a lot recently. But next time I grab something off him, I'm just going to say, I'll give you, you know what I mean, he'll say 10, and I'll say, I'll give you the number was like 3 different parts from 3 different numbers, so I'm just trying to remember it. So I'm just going to go through the numbers in my head so I can remember them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So it was like 2 or something like that, you know what I mean? But it was better. Yeah, I'd crafted this like portmanteau or whatever what is the phrase for it? Like an amalgamation of like snippets of words. I bet there is a word for that, but I'd really crafted this word very good. It was like oh, I don't know. Can't say 8 because it's not got enough. You have to change the individual phoneme of the word. So like, I could say 7, but 7 becomes 3, 70, 7, 18, 7 and 10. I'll give you a 7 or 10 for it. Something like that. It just sounded really good. This has just been a fucking spiel of diarrhea, hasn't it? I apologise for that. But yeah, I should have goddamn written it down. Should have goddamn written it down. One of my worst, like, regrets, which was a bit delusional, it was a delusional regret, was when I was younger, I thought long and hard about fuel crises. Like when I was like 11 or something like that, I thought long and hard about the problem with fuel, like an energy. I don't know why. I was just like, yeah, there's always going to be. I think it was probably because of like non-renewable fuels, and I was like, I don't want him breaking all of a sudden. I was like, what solution can I come up with? And I was convinced for like, I was sort of half asleep when I came up with it. So I know it's ridiculous. In the back of the car, while my parents were travelling somewhere, and I sort of came up with the solution to like fuel issues. It wasn't nuclear power, it wasn't fusion, it was something. And I became convinced that I'd come up with this answer, and that I hadn't written it down. And like, there I was. Could have done everybody a favour, but I just bloody didn't write it down. But yeah, that was like, because for ages afterwards I was like, oh god damn, still can't remember it. Wish I'd written it down for like ages. But God knows what it was. It was just silly nothingness of an 11-year-old mind. I know that now, but like, at the time. So that was my big number one of, and then several times I've not written dreams down. Oh damn it! I'm sure I've like not written a telephone number down or written it incorrectly, and that might have stuffed me a little bit. But I can't actually firmly remember that, so I'm just probably making that up. I'm just guessing probabilistically. I have like had expensive like hardware like that's become redundant from work, and it's like, okay, well, you know, can't really sell it on eBay. I mean, I would have been happy to have sold things on eBay. I don't think it was a good use of my time, though, in fairness. And you know, accounts would get uppity about VAT receipts. Like, if I bought something for like tenner, right, on eBay, but through my supplier it would be like, ooh, you know, and it was like this, like 70, 80 quid. Accounts would still prefer me to buy it through the supplier because the supplier had a VAT receipt. It's like, this is crazy. I mean, I don't know, it used to just cause them a headache. And I was like, really, a £70 headache? Do you know what I mean? Because that's what we're talking about. Your time versus 70 quid. Oh my god. Lucky nobody else was coming on the other side of the road, eh? Right, whatever I was talking about, my brain's just gone enough. That's it now. Enough is enough. I didn't want to do 22 hours throughout the night. When are we arriving? Oh, 3:30 tomorrow. Okay. There's I don't know why. I've been watching like real life racing, driving racing tips videos, and sim driving racing tips videos as well. As you do, as you want to improve. And my God, do they teach me a lot. And I'm not even talking about advanced strategy. I'm talking a bit beyond trail braking and heel to toe and all that sort of stuff. But you know, I'm not to say I've mastered that, but somehow I've ended up on this really nice guy, British guy. I think he's a driving instructor, and he talks about the rights and wrongs of incidents and scenarios that would occur. And tell you what, he's dispelled a lot of myths for me, and I've learnt quite a lot just from these videos, and I'm like, Christ, is that really the case? So like, one of the things is undertaking. Up until watching this video last night, I thought undertaking was when you overtake somebody in Britain on the right, on the left-hand side. Sorry, so you overtake on the left-hand side. Now, I mean, if anybody's interested, they could just watch the video, but basically it just talks about dual carriageways, motorways, the difference in legislation, the shortcomings of the highway code, and why it's there. I'm just like, yeah, sold. I'm not going to be undertaking anybody again. At all. And then I left a comment about the undertaking on the video, and I was telling people a story in my comment of what had actually happened, and it was quite funny actually, because I pulled up. I didn't pull up. I was like 300 meters out in the fast lane, right? And I came up on this like quite an old car. I want to say Vauxhall Nova, but you know, that roundabouts, you know what I mean? Something like that. Anyway, and so it was quite an old car. Although that's a classic car, but you know what I mean. Anyway, it's sat hogging the outside lane. Or the inside lane. I always get confused. It's got to be the inside lane, hasn't it? So it's hogging the inside lane anyway. And I flashed them, like, quite sincerely, like I'd confess if I'd, you know, been an arse driven right up their arse and flashed and beat the horn, like, you know, we've all been dickheads in the past, but that wasn't the case. I'd flashed them 300 metres out, 200 metres out, 100 metres out, and then just stayed in that breaking point distance from them. Anyway, I could see the silhouette in front of me of, like, the large lady. I mean, there's no, you know what I mean? I'm not pointing that out, like, unnecessarily. Like, she was a large lady. I could see the silhouette of her, right? Because she was struggling. Like, she turned around, right? She sort of sat up, turned around, grabs. I'm fucking left braking, but it's not doing much. Grabbed a bag of chips from the back seat, right? Oh, I know the chips because she wound down a window and started throwing frozen McCain straight cut chips at me along the motorway. And she had like a 2 kilo fucking bag of the things, and she's throwing these huge chips, but none of them are reaching my car because I'm, well, about 100 metres behind, so they're just not hitting me at all. But it was a bit weird. And then she, like, grabbed hold of the bottom of the bag and just tipped it all out at once, and some of those did fling up. But it was just surreal, like having a bag of chips launched. Now, and there was no pressure. I hadn't put them under pressure or anything like that. You know what I mean? There was nothing. It was just a flash, and I'm sat behind you in the inside lane. I'm just. Oh, I am coming off here. Oh Christ. Anyway, she started rummaging round her fucking shopping bags on the back seat, and it was so weird because I could see them, right, holding up items to a fella, presumably saying, "Shall we throw this?" You know what I mean? Whatever it fucking was, like fucking, you know what I mean? Coffee whitener or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, and she was going through so many items, and eventually she settled on a pack of Weetabix. So I had Weetabix launched at me as well. But what was funny was she was so uncoordinated. She sort of kept launching the Weetabix out the window. He had his window open, I think. I don't know what had happened, but these Weetabixes were flying around in their fucking car, causing, like, when she did the final tip of, like, Weetabix, she'd, like, caused all the crumbs and dust and shit to fly around the car. Fucking hilarious, right? He swerved, like, and corrected it, type thing, and then they had this blazing row. You could see them having a blazing row, and he wasn't, like, he wasn't going whoa. He'd swerved like that, corrected it, but then he was, like, sort of, like, off his game. You know what I mean? As they were rowing, so he was, like, gently going over to the right and then gently back to the left. And it was unbelievable. Well, I came off, like, pretty quickly, but it's like, what is the mentality of people? What is the mentality? Once they'd launched the bag of chips, I was like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'm staying here. Like, that is it. I didn't have a dash cam. It was prior to the days of, like, when that comet fell in Russia, and everybody then in the rest of the world went, oh, I need a dash cam. That's basically what happened, isn't it? This comet fell in Russia, captured on somebody's dash cam, did the rounds on the internet, and everybody went, oh, a dash cam, what's that? I'll have one. But it was prior to the days of dash cam, but that would have been quite good footage to have caught on the dash cam. It'd have been hilarious. I don't know what song got a drop to it. There would have been a tune to accompany that, you know what I mean? It would have been pretty good. Just something light-hearted and playful. So, I don't know, in my mind sometimes you are, you know, not wanting an onslaught of, like, potato chips at you. Sometimes Maybe I always thought like an undertaking was justified. Well, I now know it isn't, and it can lead to points on the license, but not just that personal consequences in that sense, but just it's dangerous. If you undertake, you just can't see what's on the left of you, and so many accidents occur like that. And he also did the thing that I need. He did diagrams of like vehicles in two lanes merging into the one between them, and then like, oh, I better indicate. I've come off the brake and the accelerator, so I'm just sort of coasting at the moment, although I'm not in neutral. But just to sort my arse out. Actually, coasting has been quite neat because I'm going to need sleep and fuel, and it's getting late, so look at this here. Well, it's more the sleep I'm looking at, because I'm on the blue. Let's jump over here. Also, I just thought this was a huge fuel station. Look at it. Look at the bloody size of it. Seems big to me anyway. Nobody's bloody using it though. Right, let's have a little nap. 2 o'clock. Thursday, and I don't need my lights on. What time are they expecting this job? Question. Now, have I got a... Oh, I have got a screen. Okay, so they're expecting the job Friday between 6:30 and 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's all right then, because that gives us, we're 2 o'clock on Thursday, so we've got throughout the night to go. It's a 10-hour drive. That takes us till midday, so we should be... Probably don't want to be just stuck in the middle of the road when there's the brow of that hill. Jesus, he's actually letting me go, crazy bastard, but thank you. Just saved a life. God, in my YouTube shorts now, the video that's been like doing its rounds for me, some annoying ones, like the German couple that do this abracadabra dance. It's like once you've seen one, that's it. Like I don't need to see it again. It was all right the first time. There's this weird Chinese girl that seems to have disappeared, and she does like a robot dance. And again, like maybe seen like 2 or 3. That's okay. Then there's this like, I presume all this comes off fucking TikTok, but then there's some Lauren Jumps or something, and it's just a woman with a skipping rope. That's what it is. And it's like, and this isn't envy here. This is just, I genuinely can't comprehend how this is the case. Just like hundreds of thousands, if not millions maybe, of views and engagements and stuff, and it's just a woman with a skipping rope. But then again, I think the main appeal of social media, what makes it really go viral is when it's something you can achieve. Do you know what I mean? Oh, the video that's annoyed me now is this calling Dr. Bleep. I don't know why I do it. It's like self-hatred, self-loathing or something. But the video that has been coming up a lot in my feeds is like where it's like a short, so it's that portrait format, but it's like they've got a picture of Superman in the bottom of it, and then somebody does something like a nice rescue, like rescue a drowning kid or something like that. But it's quite a cool video. It's quite cool. I quite like the, you know what I mean? I like the idea, and I think it's very true, of everyday heroes. Do you know what I mean? This is why I'm keen on the idea that Jesus Christ wasn't God. from from Superman shorts, not the shorts that Superman wears. So here's the explanation of this conundrum. Jesus Christ was a smashing fella, right? And he did lots of good things. Okay? Like, fiction or not, whatever you believe, if it's fiction or non-fiction, the character, okay, Jesus Christ, did some decent stuff, right? Nice things. Now, everybody, Christians particularly, but most people are aware that Christians believe that Jesus is God. And sort of inherent in that is, it's almost like an excuse, it's like, yeah, he did some nice stuff. Oh yeah, but he was God, so that sort of explains it. Well, I like the idea. What am I committing myself to here? Lease. Is what I'm saying, yeah, don't worry about it. There's no expectation to be a decent person. Like a saintly life. It is impossible because Jesus was a god and that's why he managed it. Well, actually, in reality, you know, even by people like Mother Teresa. Don't need the god gene to be good. This is beautiful. This is interesting as well. This is not what I expected. It's just got that like sort of almost Russian architecture feel to it. Yeah, it's a lovely bridge that. I'm so pleased to have done this drive actually. And those like gate posts and everything. A bit old fashioned, aren't they, for considering how modern this bridge is. And we're going to Kuala Lumpur land. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I had a Russian colleague and she taught languages. And she would go through the pronunciations of words with me. I didn't have a bloody clue. Like, I could never get it right. I just couldn't repeat it, parrot it. I don't know why. I wonder what I'm lacking there to be able to just hear somebody speak and then parrot it. Be interested in Welsh. What I want to do is, because we are heading to Northwest Wales, I want to visit that longest place name thing. I know it's silly, but I would like to visit there. What's going on here? Okay. What am I waiting for? Why is his barrier going up and mine's not? I've got cars behind me now. Oh, I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull into that lane there and try and get it this way. Because I'm obviously not doing it that way. Oh. How I got away with not hitting that car, I do not know, if I'm honest. Right, so it's because there wasn't a thing for me. God knows how I'm going to manoeuvre this when that barrier goes up. Let's stop repairing. going to go down by the time I get in line, isn't it? Oh. 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 Right. Okay, so whatever country we're in, let's get a move on. I really don't understand, like, why I feel like I'm driving. Oh God, bet he got a fright. No, I did. I don't. That whole passport troll confused the hell out of me. But it is what it is. Okay, so. Okay, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Please don't ram my trailer. Thank you. It's amazing how accurate you have to be driving these things, and real life must be fucking 50 times more. Like, requires 50 times more accuracy, because it's just like roads are nothing. I mean, there's potholes, there's awkward turns. These roads in Eurotruck are all pretty much, you know, 90-degree turns, aren't they? You know what I mean? There's all sorts of differences. The camber of the road. There's no real camber in Eurotruck that I've noticed anyway. And again, so all of these factors, that's a lot to consider really when driving trucks. But on the flip side, when you like learn to drive a large, say it's just still a 3.5 ton van, but it's like a long wheelbase, high roof, that can feel pretty monstrous if you're not used to driving things like that. Everybody always picks them up in no time, don't they? But I do think a truck's probably a world much more difficult. I'd rather drive a train than a truck. I really would. I just think so many issues with trucks. Is that guy trying to overtake me on the left? Well, he's swung back now, he's dropped in. What's he done actually? It looks like, oh god, he has just dropped in last minute. This looks like DayZ. And DayZ is like set in Eastern Europe, I think. We are in Eastern Europe, so it sort of adds up, but my god. It looks like the DayZ map. It'd be cool if in like 60 years time, I mean, we won't have like personal computing in the way that exists now, I don't think at all. Say in 50 years. It just won't happen. It's just not efficient for everybody to be rocking their own 3080 graphics card, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not efficient. It's better for Nvidia to flog graphics cards off like that, but in reality, no. Half the world's asleep and not using theirs. I mean, the same for cars, you know what I mean? Spend most of the time just not being used, really. We'll just be streaming stuff, right? If that, I mean, it could be holographics, I don't know. But we will have one single humongous AI. There will be no individual, I've got this AI and I've got that AI. It will just be one big goddamn AI that can write its own code as well. And when it masters that, when an AI is able to develop AI, there'll be, like, they talk about quantum supremacy, but there'll be like an AI supremacy. That country who's mastered that, got that off the ground, will be unstoppable at that point, because the AI will be able to write better AI faster than humans can, I assume. So there'll just be one giant AI. And that giant AI, what would be nice is if you could feed it every computer game that's ever been made. These would be retro games, obviously, in 50 years' time. All the code bases, DRM protected or not, it doesn't matter, it'll just crack them. And then it amalgamates them all, one giant computer game. And we'll call that existence, won't we? Because that's what's probably bloody happened. There is a theory, and it's quite a sound scientific theory, that, you know, obviously everybody knows of the theory of the simulation theory, but an inherent part of the proper, authentic simulation theory is that the conclusion is we must be in an ancestor simulation, which is very strange conclusion to reach. I just can't remember how the argument goes. It's not a complicated argument, but it's the idea that if we could, we definitely will. And if we definitely will, definitely already happened, but it's that if we... So if we can, we will. But it's how do you make that jump from if we will, in the future, make an ancestor simulation? It must have already happened because... Is that because I've forgotten about? I don't know. I don't think I forgot it because I debunked it in my head. I thought it was actually quite decent. An argument, really. Ooh, 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 am I coming off? It looks like I'm coming off here. Okay, so I sort of do my own ABS thing, really, because I'm hammering the brake my left foot. I sort of hammer it a bit, take it off, hammer it a bit, just keep adjusting it. Because if I keep my left foot on it, inevitably I'll just slam to a halt. And I think what happens is basically because that's my clutch foot. When you slow a car down, especially if you're braking quite well, quite strongly braking, you push the clutch last second just to not stall. But you use the engine braking as well as the disc brakes to slow things down, and then the clutch goes in last second. And the trouble is with the truck, because as I start to slow down, the more efficient the brakes become, so the even more I slow down, and then the more I slow down, the more I just use my left foot to push the clutch, even though it's on the brake. So it's just a fiasco. I cannot, and I've been trying it, I cannot undo this like 20 years of programming of smashing my left foot down. Can I just sneak in front of him? Lovely. Oh, I did have to slam on my brakes to cause him to slam on. That was a horrible bit of driving, wasn't it? Ram him off the road. Ah. Touch him, please. Holy oh shit! Yeah. It's just helping you test your brakes. Oh my god, I've really fucked up one time when I caused a bus to brake. I was speeding along when I lived in Birmingham, and I had that Vectra. I got the Vectra, so it wasn't that long ago. I mean, it was like 2007, so. And I was absolutely bombing it along. In that thing, in like, I think I'd gone through the back streets. Anyway, I came up to a crossroads and I was doing some ridiculous speed. No need to incriminate myself. I was doing ridiculous speed. Lights went red, I couldn't stop, just continued, because it'd only just gone red. But a bus driver had anticipated, he obviously knows the route so well, he'd anticipated his lights going green. And if you know, it's weird. I've got like it feels like a sixth sense for it, but if you know your local traffic lights, you just know when to go. It just becomes a natural thing to, oh, shift into gear, start to pull away, and then it goes green type thing, which is a bad idea. So you know, but people do it. You know, or at least sit on the clutch, bike point, or whatever. So this bus driver obviously knew the lights were going green, and I'd miscalculated, thinking that, you know, and it was a crossroads, and I could not see either side of the crossroads. Like, so I'm a fool for doing this, like, and I was a fool for doing this. I couldn't see either side of the crossroads. These things aren't calculated, I wasn't like, oh, but I thought, you know, just gone red, so I could just scoot across. And anyway, this bus came out, and I can't remember if I slammed on my brakes or not, or where we ended up, but I ended up in a being able to see all the passengers on the bus. Trust me, they didn't look fucking happy at all. This must be a toll. He slammed on the brakes and gave all those passengers, well, I gave all those passengers like a right jolt. That bus came to a stop so quickly. But again, I suppose if it was like 15 miles an hour, that's probably going to be enough to slam on the brakes and come to a stop pretty promptly. But not enough to like cause like massive, like, you know, internal bleeding or something, you know what I mean? It's just, anyway, but all the, because of course you don't wear a safety belt on a bus, do you? So all the passengers just dramatically like jolted forward, and then they all stared at me, and I held my hand up to apologise, but it was like, fucking hell, I just fucked 30 people on this fucking bus. What a twat, do you know what I mean? Calm me down for a bit, that did a bit more. I think from then on I always assumed some shit about to happen. I don't know how it impacted me actually. It was a long time ago, but I still remember it, and I still remember what a wanker I was for doing that as well. Like, just like fucking 30 people though, or I mean, it was a bus full. Like, the buses are always full in Birmingham. It was a fucking bus full of people, and I caused them all to be jolted like that. I was just like, what a fucking dickhead I was. Like, yeah, I couldn't believe it. Oh, my arse is aching. Ah. Yeah, I've done some daft things. I nearly run over a lady with a pushchair. Actually, that was horrible, that was horrible. It fucked me up for days afterwards. And God knows what it would have been like if I'd have actually done that. But so what happened was, on the A38 coming into Birmingham, just busy, like, it's a 3-lane dual carriageway, which is rare, isn't it? You know what I mean? We often think dual carriageways are 2-lane, but it's a 3-lane dual carriageway. It's not a particularly fast road. I think maybe some points get up to 60, but not really as you get into Birmingham. If anything, it's like 30 or whatever. Oh, checking my documents. But this is right. I'm in my dickhead boy racing days, right? Well, it was, yeah, it sort of was and wasn't really a boy racery, but anyway, 2 of the lanes were queued up for the red lights, and I'd seen the lights go red in the distance, and like I said, you just know when lights are going to go green. Anyway, I'm carrying along at 40. And I just knew that by the time I hit the lights will go green, so I would effectively cross the road, cross the lights as they go green, so completely legally, if you like. Although I'd be setting up, you know what I mean, I'd be crossing that line at 40, not from 0, so I just managed to get in front of all the traffic. And I think I did it. And Sorry, the thing is, I don't think I had any warning from like other drivers or anything. Nobody had looked in the wing mirror. I mean, there's no obligation for people to. You know what I mean? That's entitlement there. Other drivers should warn you when there's a hazard. I went across that without thinking that in front of the other cars there may have been pedestrians crossing the road and maybe lagging behind as well. And I missed that pushchair. I don't know, a couple of foot. Do you know what I mean? Not much. She must have been pushing that wheelchair, not wheelchair, pushchair, pram thing, and then just going past the next vehicle. Maybe she cautiously stopped. I don't know, and then boom, cars just bang in front of her. She must have been scared shitless. And I just again that was so top 5 dickhead things I've done driving. That was a near miss, really. The other one was, I suppose, it was a near miss in the sense that the two vehicles didn't collide, but it wasn't a near miss in the sense that everybody walked away completely fine. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm sure some people would have really had a good jolt with that in that bus. Fucking 30 people as well. Well, I never got anything come back to me over my licence. Try to bribe a traffic warden. Should I be fucking amazing this? I don't know. Oh, well, no, actually, no. Alright, let's take the official stance on it. I was offered a discretionary one-off payment opportunity from the traffic warden. Because I didn't have a go at him. I was really polite about it. And he was like, fucking hell, you're not like the rest of them, are you? I was like, look, you're just doing your job, that's fine. You know, it is what it is. I'm illegally parked, so I have to take it. I said, I can't afford it. I'm, broke as a whatever. And he said, see what we can do then. Follow me up here. A bit weird. Really giant. He was an absolutely massive guy, Asian guy, with massive helmet on him, bearded motherfucker. He's just big, bearded, massive guy on this tiny little L-Reg scooter. It was hilarious to see. It was like it could have been a comedy. Do you know what I mean? Just this guy and his trials and tribulations. Anyway, we went round the back of some like garages. You know where like blocks of flats have garages and whatever. And we just in the middle of there. And I gave him a £10 note, and he said he'd scrap the ticket. Anyway, got the fucking ticket through, didn't I? Cheeky bastard. So, I called up Birmingham City Council and complained about this, saying, and I was from the angle of, well, the guy offered me an on-the-spot fine, and he was like, really? I was like, yes, he offered me he was like, there is no such thing as an on-the-spot fine. There's an early payment discount, but there's no such thing as an on-the-spot fine. I think by this stage as well, I don't know, I think I may have missed the early payment, I doubt it though. But anyway, irrelevant. And he said, right, I'm going to have to investigate this and come back to you. And me knowing that, like, we'd mutually agreed that we'd just, like, go somewhere where we couldn't be seen and I'd slip in this tenner, right? I just thought, oh, I'm fucked now. Do you know what I mean? This is fraud. I'm screwed. Like, anyway, he called me back like a couple of hours later and said, yeah, other people have reported this. So the guys, we've suspended him or got him or whatever. I don't know. I still saw him though, knocking about on his scooter as a traffic warden, like I'm sure like weeks later, because he's so distinctly recognisable. So I don't know if maybe they suspended him. I don't know what had happened anyway, but I got away with a fine. That was fine number 1 that I got. No, that was the second fine I ever got away with. The first one come out after having breakfast from a cafe just to find that I'd been fined on my bloody way into Birmingham. Just pulled over, had breakfast, come back out, fucking 40 quid fine or whatever. Anyway, I was like, no fucking way, because I'm not a knobhead when it comes to like checking a lamppost to see what the terms and conditions are of parking. So I was like, there's no way that fucking slips past me. Anyway, I phoned up the council and said I don't understand it. I'm launching a complaint, and those signs look brand new. I don't think they were there this morning, right? Or by the when I went into the cafe, I didn't think they were there, but they were there when I came back out, right? Thinking this is the weak ass fucking thing to go down. Turns out I was right. They'd put the signs up whilst I was in the cafe. I was like, bloody hell. So, like, I was impressed that they managed to coordinate cross departments or whatever, I don't know. But got away with it. So, technically, when I parked there, there were no parking restrictions. There go. No fine. So, that was the first one I got away with. The third one, I think I got somebody's random ticket from the car park. I mean, I've got away with other minor ones, like where machines have been broken. But I think I got somebody's random ticket. I got back to the car, and there was a fine on the car. So I got hold of somebody's ticket and took a photo of that ticket and sent it to Wiltshire Council and said, "Here's my ticket. I don't understand why I got fined." Yeah, I said it must have fallen off the windshield. You know what I mean? And they said, I can't remember. I've probably got the fucking email still. Whatever they said, it was acceptable. Got away with it. I absolutely bullshitted that one. Got away with getting trapped in a car park. That was mad. Only my girlfriend at the time to witness this. And my God, what did she witness? She was like, so basically we parked up in like Horsham or somewhere. And went out for curry. Got back to the car. It must have been late in the evening. We must have been like being impulsively like, let's go out for curry. Got back to the car park, and the car park was locked. Barriers across it, everything. And I was like, oh, fuck's sake. It was like half an hour away from where we lived. And I was like, fucking hell. I'm going to have to now get a taxi back home. Then get a taxi, because they're going to wonder at work, being as I've got a company car, why I haven't turned up in my company car. Do you know what I mean? There'll be questions like, why did you... So, and also a tight bugger. I just wanted the car back, right? So I was like, a taxi back home. Then I've got to get a taxi back here, pick up the car. It's just a fucking nightmare in the morning. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm just gonna try and find a way out. But fuck me, did I drive that car off road through fucking bushes, stumps, and a huge like 2-foot embankment. And my girlfriend said she reckoned the car back wheel, she was like going, oh, calm down. I couldn't really hear what she was saying. I was just like, I know I'm gonna have to go for this one. I broke out of that car park, caused so much damage in the process. Hardly a scratch on the car though, actually, in fairness. But she reckoned that one of the back wheels had cleared the ground by 2 foot. That's like how bad it had got. Do you know what I mean? That's like, you don't want to be doing that shit in a Mondeo. Do you know what I mean? That's Mondeos aren't built for that. Do you know what I mean? That's not like a rally chassis in a Mondeo. It was fucking insane. I can't believe to this day that I did that. I shouldn't really confess it. It wasn't wherever I said it was. There we go. But I don't know why I'm nervous. Nobody watches anyway. Let alone has the inkling to report me for something like that 15 years ago. I don't know. But yeah, it was me. If you worked in that car park, if you were the ranger for that car park, and you wondered how the fuck a great big car-shaped hole had ploughed its way through a hedgerow and an embankment, yeah, it was me just thinking, fuck it, I'm going for it. I got away with that. Got away with that one cleanly as well. What's this here? I got away with excessive speeding in Spain. And I mean, it's just a fine. I was like, wow. Like, that would have been a ban in the UK. If I'd have done that in the UK, I would have been banned from driving. But I just got fined as well. I think he had gone to my partner. I think maybe the rental was in her name. It had gone to my partner. I was like, yeah, no, you just take care. I can't, you know what I mean? Like, it was so mean, just joking around, like, you take care of it, type thing. Oh, that's so bad though, that. And actually, I've got a video of this. Me doing a bit of like rally style driving up one of the hills around Granada. That was a bit insane actually. That was some fucking speed. And like the road was like, at some points it was like a good 1 foot either side of the car and then drop off, sheer cliff face drop off. Do you know what I mean? Now I wasn't going crazy fast on those sections, but when you're doing 25 miles an hour on a section where there's a foot either side of the car and it's instant death, pretty fucking scary, do you know what I mean? Oh dear. Hit a fucking pothole at the end of that video. Then she dropped the camera and that was the end of the video, but it looks like proper fucking, you know, the way she's screaming at this, like, it was only a minor pothole. The way she's screaming and the impact and everything, it just proper looks like that was it, that was the end, that was death. Oh, I think my sleep requirement's gone up again. But I've only got 2.5 hours drive, so if I can just make it for a couple of hours, then all good really. This is where I start rushing and make mistakes, but I haven't actually noticed anywhere say place discovered. Should have made sure I went out my way to discover places as well actually. Yeah, I just think, you know, that was fortunate. Which makes me wonder, like, say like these, like how many things that, you know, we've got away with, if you like, that's what I'm thinking about, but when people get arrested for crimes, like the rioters, well, I've got several issues with it. Like, number one, why aren't the sentences imposed on them equivalent to that for terror offences? Because they are quite simply terror offences. Like, far-right nationalists turn up and want to burn a hotel of 200 people. Because if that's not the definition of terrorism, what the fuck is? You know what I mean? So why are they getting like 3 years and 5 years and not a terrorist jail sentence? That's a question. As Farage would say, that's a question. I'm not saying anything. I'm not inferring anything. I'm just saying there's questions. That is a big question, isn't it? But also, what other crimes are they doing and just not getting caught for? You know what I mean? What other incitement to hatred are they undertaking? What other, you know, just what are they doing day to day? I bet they're on the wrong side of the law quite a lot. Quite a lot. Oh, oh. Don't want to be going crazy speed around here. Oh. An hour's gone by. 1 hour 30 minutes remaining now. 2.5 hours. Like not so long ago. Ooh. This is actually quite tight, isn't it? So I don't really want to be smashing that trailer too much. Well, they wanted it Friday. Oh, I'm just all over the place. Between 6:30 and 1 o'clock. Now, I'm thinking there's two ways this is going to work. Either I get super duper points for being early, which I've never found out. Do you get more points for being early or not? Or I try and be on time, and I think it's better to be on time for them. A bit like a dinner party, do you know what I mean? Sometimes turning up early is actually quite inconvenient, because then somebody's got to entertain you, or you know what I mean, people feel obliged to entertain. I don't mind really, like somebody turns up and sits in the kitchen and has a natter, that's fine by me, but Okay. What's he doing? I can't sleep like that with that going on all night. He's turned it off now. If I set his alarm off then. Right. So we're bang on 8:30, so this is a good time for a delivery. Just 35 miles away. 1 hour in game. It's weird when I play ETS2, I usually start off with a lot of like chat about shit, because that's what it's all about, just chatting about shit, and then by the end of the game I hardly ever say a word. I hardly, you know what I mean, I'm starting to fall asleep and I'm just like, I don't really say anything. I'm entering that zone now, I can feel it, I've exhausted myself. Oh, please, please, please move the car. Oh, he's giving me space, yeah. Nice one. Okay. Oh, this looks to be a big place, doesn't it? Well, this is just my inertia carrying me. I've not touched the throttle once. There's a single lane here now. I don't see many single lane tracks where it's like you've got to wait for cars and things to pass. Now, I'm not sure I'm wishing for that, because I imagine that's quite challenging. Now, in those circumstances, quite often, yeah, I'm sure that's a that's a Isuzu, isn't it? Oh, sorry, mate. Go on then. Is he turning left, or is he? Oh, he's going straight on. Right. What's happening here? Am I going? I'm going. Yeah. What I'd do if I was that car and I'm turning right, I have to do this, is I slow down and block the road so the person can escape, get out in heavy traffic conditions or whatever. That'd be nice to see NPC behaviour like that. Do you know what I mean? If just like 12% probability that the NPC will behave extra courteously or something like that. So, I noticed that place has been discovered now. Whatever it was called, I'm not going to even attempt. Not an attractive skyline. But one thing I've noticed going around Europe is, and England, things always look better when it's sunny. And some places are so god awful in dreary, rainy weather that I'm just surprised that suicide rate isn't higher. Do you know what I mean? Some places are really god awful in dreary weather. Somewhere like Slough, fucking hell. I don't think it wouldn't be avoid Slough in the rain. Do you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying on the matter. Jesus Christ. That place. Oh God. Used to go to a Ferrari dealer there, and but it wasn't like a dealer. It was like the headquarters or in back operations. So there were a few Ferraris, but not many knocking around. And then, like, if I go to any place, I'll just have a little nosy round. Oh, Slough, God. And again, a lot of people really like Reading nearby as well. Take it or leave it. Used to find Sheffield a little bit like that, but Sheffield's quite a nice green city. But I used to find at one point the landscape of Sheffield was so post-industrial, and also I don't know. Sheffield just got baked in the coal and steel industry, really. So it was all over the walls and everywhere. You know what I mean? And it really was, even like in my lifetime, even like, oh shit, I missed the turn-off. Even after coal mining had ended, you'd still see the, like, stains of, like, the industry everywhere. There's no turning point as well. Oh no. How far along the motorway do I have to go? Oh God. No, I'm turning here. This is... Oh, no, well, that's a pavement, isn't it? This is the most stupid manoeuvre. I actually had a car in my wing mirror there, and he stopped. Good on him. There's no way I'm turning... Because the turning point wasn't joining that other motorway. I had to join that motorway and then go along a bit, so God knows where that could have taken me to. I've had some right detours in this game. Detours that have, like, made me late on contracts. I had a time when the sat-nav, and this was recently, just kept sending me round in a circle. It was weird. Just kept turning me off, turning me back onto this motorway. It was really weird. Okay, here we go, and then I think it's on the left here. Yeah. Stokes. Find out where they want it. Somewhere bloody difficult. Oh no, that's weird. That's... I've been handing out 90 XP and no... Oh, it is a big trailer though, I suppose. Right. Now, my mistake is always to try and straighten up, and actually, I think what I'm going to do is stop here. And get that, hopefully. Right, now I need to swing round. Come on, keep swinging, keep swinging. Haven't quite made it. Not the end of the world. No, it's not too late. Then swing it back round. Going alongside that trailer. Okay, there we go. I've got a bit of green. And there's a bit of green. Okay, well the trailer's good, I think. So That'll do. Look at that, I've got that retro plates there. Pretty cool. Should have gone for those side skirts on the truck. It looks so bare, doesn't it? Right. But it was like $3,000. I mean, who wants to pay that? Where's it? Where's the... There we go. Let's unhitch this and get paid next to fuck all. Actually, that's not a bad bit of cash there, is it? 30,000. Oh, oh, that's such a shame. Just missed. Leveling up there. So, in the world today, I am now here. See, there's no country's borders, so I have no idea where I am. That was a hell of a drive, though. Unfortunately, I didn't get to actually stop off at any of these bloody places, so they're not on my map as places where I can accept jobs from. That was a bit silly, really. I would like to go St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg. Oh, I can just travel around Poland a little bit, but it'd be good to get into Romania. It'd be good to head out that way. Don't want to go back into Lithuania. Oh. Ah, now where's that one go? Ah. Bloody hell, I'm going into Bosnia. Bit mad, isn't it, really? And the nice thing about that one into Bosnia oh, damn you. Is it does take me through some places I've not been to before, obviously, including Bratislava. Supposed to be worth a visit. I think I'd like to take that job. I just can't bring myself to do it today. I mean, it's almost the same journey time as what I've just done. It's a good 19 hours driving, but at least I can pick up the trailer and oh, I can't even. Oh, I can't see it. I can't see where the trailer is. So it's 3 minutes away anyway. Let me just go grab that trailer and then I've got an idea of... Having used this wheel, before I use this wheel, I thought I'm just going to nick a wheel out of a car in a scrap heap and just put some very simple, you know what I mean, pots on it and just, you know, get an analog axis out of it. I hadn't even thought about wiring up the buttons because that's not a big deal. I don't desperately need buttons on a wheel. But anyway, now having the force feedback and everything, I just didn't stand a chance of doing it like that in retrospect. There's the one. There's the one. Into Bosnia. I'm sure I've been into Turkey before. In fact, what I need to do is have a quick look at this map, because I think this tells me where the map doesn't. Oh, so maybe I haven't been all these areas. I thought I had. But I've taken that drive down there. Oh, I'd love to get to Budapest. Right, so that's in the freight market anyway. And is that the one? Yeah. Now, I do actually go through Budapest more or less. So let's take the job. And how do I do that? I have to do that here. But I'll grab that, pick up that trailer, get it onto my GPS. Okay. Right, I'm going right out of here. Oh no, I'm going left actually, once I'm out of the yard. Okay, that is a big ass trailer though, isn't it? Bloody hell. What have I got myself into? Let's have a look at the size of this. Oh, it looks big, but it's weird. It's weird the way it's joined actually. Like, that doesn't look very stable, does it? Like, there's that bit of metal work joining those two containers at the bottom. Ah. What I want to see is how this thing turns, really. Well, I can't see it from there. Okay. All there. So there's no rear wheel turning to aid. Just straight on 6 wheels. And that's it. And again, just have a get a feel for this turn. So I ain't got to go crazy, have I? Just normal sort of adjusted driving for a trailer. Okay, so it's not massive. It's a regular size one. Right, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, let's get some fuel. Pull over and then just add Budapest on the sat-nav and call it a day, I think. Time flies by. seen any places to fuel up or pull over. I'm sure they'll be up ahead. They are. I do like that there's very little repeated in Euro Truck. I like that there's a lot of fields, a lot of variation in the game actually. Okay. I think, oh god, I'm still not clear to go. Ah. The Iveco with a Scania trailer. Don't know what type of trailer that is, doesn't matter really, but odd. Thank you very much. Cheers, my dears. To find some fuel. There's a little church over there to the right. And a hot air balloon. Yeah, for some reason I lost all my configuration on Assetto Corsa. It's actually quite annoying. I wonder if it's when I installed that mod. Bloody Glen Shields map. Wasn't that great, to be honest. Like, you know, I want to support it, and well done. I totally get what you're trying to achieve, but the reality of it isn't that great, really. It's just not that fun. But yeah, my controls stopped working in that thing. And then I ended up trying to install the mod with some Assetto Corsa launcher, and that's also created its own problems. I just want somewhere for some fuel. I didn't really want to be doing this drive, to be fair. Clear to me, up ahead. It's a hell of an overtake, isn't it? That flies by. Okay, parking 200 meters. The exit, which is a bit awkward. So there's a lot awkward, isn't it? That? I'll get some fuel while I'm at it. It was nice when these were covered. It's, you say expenses covered by your employer. And sleep-wise, oh dear. Right, let's have a look at this for next time then. Right, so oh yeah, I wondered why I was facing the wrong way. But it's literally that fuel station there. Let's get this out to... Oh, Budapest isn't going to be that glamorous, is it? Oh, wait, that then changes my approach. Oh, that's weird actually. It really does change my approach quite dramatically. Wait. Like it's telling me to go back on myself now. Like, yeah. Why is it not? Oh, that's weird. That I don't understand how that going up north will be faster than where I'm at. No matter what I do, where I click, it still wants me to. So I'll just click that next time I'm on then. I think. Leave it the way it is. Right, I'm going to kick it then. Take it easy and I'll catch you next time. Oh, that steering wheel just jolted. As soon as I switched away from the game, it resets itself to... I had my chest on it. Could have hurt my nipples. Anyway, that's the way to sign out. Till next time.